Hey there, Robert Ferringo of DocSports here with another college football free play video. Be sure to like and subscribe to the DocSports YouTube channel and turn on notifications to be alerted every time a new video is posted. Also, down in the description below, you will find our free 60 link. That will take you directly to DocSports and give you $60 to be used, same as cash, towards any handicapper in any sport or any package of picks that you want. Today's free play, we're diving into the ACC action, one of the biggest games in the ACC this entire year. We have Miami heading to Florida State. This game is kicking off on ABC at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, October 4th. Miami is a 4.5-point road favorite, and the total in this game is set at 54.5. I said at the beginning of the year, looking at Miami's schedule, that they were not going to sweep the Sunshine State. What I mean by that is this is the third game in a row for the Hurricanes against another team from Florida. They went to Gainesville and played the University of Florida, and they won that game by double digits. They hosted South Florida in Miami, and they blew out the Bulls. And now they're going to Tallahassee to take on Florida State. And like I said, when I looked at Miami's schedule in the summer, I didn't have them winning all three of these games. That just usually doesn't happen with these in-state rivalry games. There are some other things that are pointing towards Florida State in this game. If you look back at the series over the last 26 meetings, it's 13-13. So these teams have been evenly matched for decades. The underdog is also 7-3 against the spread in this series. Florida State's playing with revenge after losing 36-14 last year. And the home team has had a little bit of an advantage in recent series. Florida State's already proven that it can knock off top 10 opponents. They beat Alabama handily in week 1. And so they're not going to be scared about the fact that Miami is ranked in the top 5. Now, Florida State is coming off a loss last Friday against Virginia. They were clear, whether they want to admit it or not, they were clearly looking ahead to this massive, massive rivalry game with the Hurricanes. The public is definitely on Florida State in this game, with over 2/3 of the betting action and the tickets coming down on this home underdog. And I get it, right? Like, these two teams are close in talent. Florida State already beat Alabama. Miami has been just a tease, really, for most of the last 2 decades. They're never as good as the public wants them to be. They're always overrated. They're always overranked. They're miserable in the road favorite role and have been with this current coaching staff. However, I'm actually going to go against the public and, go against my past self in this one. My free play, I'm actually taking Miami, and I'm taking the under in this game. One of the things, Miami really might be the best team in the country right now. Their defense is phenomenal. They're number 11 in the country in scoring defense, number 7 in rushing defense, and their offensive line is the best in the country. So they're really dominating teams in the trenches. They physically manhandled both Florida and South Florida, and those are good teams. I don't think that they're going to manhandle Florida State, but I do think that Miami has an edge in the trenches. And if they are the best team in college football, and if Miami is a true national title contender, one of the things I've noticed over the last 15 years is that the team that ends up winning the national championship or even playing for the national championship usually dominates at the window. Go back and take a look, and you'll see that most of the teams that win the title, they cash a lot of tickets during the regular season. And that's exactly what Miami has done so far this year. They've covered the spread in every game that they've played. And I'm not really looking to jump in front of this train. I like the way that Miami is playing. I wonder about where Florida's head is at after that loss to Virginia. They showed some defensive weaknesses last week that really hadn't been apparent prior to that. Miami is well rested coming into this game. So I'm going to go against the public here, and I'm going to take Miami -4.5. I also like the under because I do think that this one is going to be a little bit more of a slugfest, a little bit more of a rock fight. I do think that Florida State has the athletes to push back against Miami, but just like the Florida Gators did, I just don't know that Florida State is consistent enough offensively to really put cracks in this top 10 Miami defense. So I can see this one being like 23-13, 27-17, kind of in that range. But I like Miami to cover the spread, and I like this one to definitely stay under the total. So that's your college football free play video for today. Be sure to check back later for more. Until then, I am Robert Ferringo. We are DocSports. Carpe diem, and good luck.